Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Robin Radio. Today we're going to jump into an episode about an insight that I've recently come across when it comes to a lot of the content that we are consuming online, especially in the field of wellness, well-being, spirituality, mindfulness, all the wonderful things that a lot of us are tapping into. But before we jump into today's episode, let us just get into our breath so that we can bring ourselves into a space where we are more receptive and able to just assimilate and get the insights that are necessary for us. So let us close our eyes, place our palms somewhere comfortable, and just become aware of the breath. Inhaling completely and exhaling slowly.
What you doing? What you doing?
I got someone here who wants to join us.
We're trying to do some breathing exercises. Okay?
Just focusing on the breath, and if there are any distractions, just allowing them to be there, not getting lost in those distractions, and bringing our awareness back to breath. By doing this long and deep inhalation and conscious but slow exhalation, we're just triggering the mind into a place of calm, metabolizing and releasing excess cortisol, allowing ourselves to be in a calm place which is conducive to taking in new information, just triggering the whole body to know that it's safe and that we don't need to worry about what to do next, and that we also don't need to worry about what has just happened. We can just be completely present. Let us take a couple more of these deep, long and slow but very conscious inhalations and exhalations. And whenever we're ready, we can just gently open our eyes. So thank you so much for joining me for that. It's something that really, really, really helps me to get into a which I truly believe is mankind's in this world of stress and anxiety. Being able to move into a calm space is really a true gift. So, what is this insight when it comes to the content that's out there? And I might even be guilty of this myself. So I'm definitely not excluding myself from this, but it's something that I really became aware of. I was watching a beautiful piece of content which was presenting a mindfulness practice to really shift our perspective into a place of manifestation. Let's put it that way. I don't really like using the word manifestation. I feel like it's being overused. I would like to break it down rather as moving into a space where our heartfelt desires and intentions can become a reality. So, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, there is a lot of content out there about this specific subject. And what dawned on me when I was watching this particular piece of content earlier today is that the individual that was sharing this practice, this mindfulness practice, to get us into a space where we can really manifest some incredible realities for ourselves, I realized that this person was coming from a very personal experience, and that they were at potentially a high point or a peak even in their ability to manifest this incredible life. And they made a comment which sort of made me realize something. And the comment that they made was towards the host of the show that they were on, where this host was asking them certain questions and they were sharing about this practice. And she was relating this practice back to the host, and she was saying to the host that yes, if you were to do this practice, you would probably have to do it in a certain way because you are playing quite big. And the host is someone that's well known, and the person that was being interviewed is also very well known, and they are really doing extremely well from a external point of view. I don't know what their internal state is like because I don't actually know them, so I can't comment on that. They appear to be in a beautiful inner state, but again, that's just anecdotal based on the screen that I was watching. But definitely from an external perspective, we would consider these people successful in the sense that physically, have got healthy bodies, got big followings on their social media accounts. They appear to be abundant in many ways. So when this individual made this comment that you will do this practice in a different way because you're playing big, I immediately thought of all the people that are potentially watching this that might not be feeling as if they are playing big, and that there could be maybe a sense of comparison to the host of the show, that maybe they can't live up to this. And then the insight hit me. It hit me so strong that a lot of content that is out there is based on someone's personal experience. And it's personal in the sense that whatever they are achieving, manifesting, doing, is most likely very much meant for them. It is their very personal journey. And in that I realized how much of the content that's being put out there is actually meant for all of us to tap into, to view, to look into. Because if it's that person's very personal journey and their very personal story, I understand that yes, there's an aspect of some of us can be motivated and inspired by that. But as people consuming this content, I think it's important that we put disclaimers out there, those of us that are sharing these personal stories, that what is success to me doesn't necessarily mean that is success to you. We need to be sharing more generic messages that are relevant to everybody, because maybe playing big is not the right path for you. Maybe you are meant to do things in a different way, and the context of the playing big in this particular piece of content that I was watching was about somebody really being in the limelight. And maybe some of us are not meant to be in the limelight. Maybe we're meant to be in the background, really achieving great things in the background, out of the limelight. Maybe we're meant to be great supporters. Maybe we're meant to be great bus drivers. Maybe we're meant to be incredible school teachers. Maybe we are meant to be great film stars. Maybe we're meant to be excellent entrepreneurs. And this brought me to actually what I want to share is that I feel we're not sharing enough content about how the 8 or 9 billion people on this planet, every single one has a specific place in this puzzle of humanity. And we are all 100% unique. There's no one individual like another. And each of us, it is important that we each play our part, the part that is meant for us, because then the puzzle fits and it works. But if we're all trying to be entrepreneurs, or if we're all trying to be movie stars, or we're all trying to be the best meditator, mindfulness coach, spiritualist, influencer, it means that there's going to be a lot of roles in our society that are lacking. And I feel that if we are to share our personal stories, that we make sure people understand that this is my personal journey, and that the reason I'm sharing it with you and what has worked for me is because you can apply something similar to your personal journey, and the outcomes might be different, but the experience could be very similar. An experience of success, an experience of joy, an experience of peace, an experience of achievement. And I wanted to just share that with all of you, to say let us be very aware that each of us have our own unique role to play. And that unique role should not be compared to someone else's unique role. We should try to avoid comparison at all costs, because what sets my soul on fire, in a true sense, I'm not talking about in the societal acceptance sense and what looks good on paper. I'm talking about what truly sits right in our hearts, what really resonates at a deep level, where we really feel completely satisfied. That thing, or that purpose, or that activity on paper might not look like success in our current community. It might not look like success in our current environment. It might actually look contrary to that. But we should not be worrying about that. We should not be thinking about that. We should be focused more on how we truly feel inside. And that's how we should measure success. So if I'm really good at supporting people who are meant to be in the limelight, if I'm a really good supporter, if I'm a really good individual at getting people to be very successful in the limelight, whether that limelight is on social media, on television, on any type of media, and I'm meant to support people like that, and it means that I'm nowhere near the limelight. In fact, when their success shows up in the limelight, I'm nowhere to be seen or heard. But the fact that they are becoming successful, and they are advancing, and they are getting a good following, and they're having a good influence, when I see that happening, if that's my role, if that's what I'm meant to do, and that's what really sets my soul on fire, that should be enough for me. And I understand that there's a level of healing that needs to take place. There's a level of introspection and deep inner work that needs to happen for us to get to that. But we should acknowledge that up front, before we start comparing, before we start living up to other people's expectations and standards. We should really search deep within to realize that I have a very unique role to play in this place, and that role might not be socially seen as success, or socially seen as achievement or greatness, purely because of the community or society that I find myself in. And I want to refer everybody here to a beautiful book called The Artist's Way. I think I might have it here. No, I don't have Artist's Way on this shelf. I'll hopefully get the author's name. I don't know why I think it's Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way. Very old book, but extremely relevant. For those of you that would like to go deeper in what I'm talking about and uncovering what I'm talking about, this is a very beautiful book that will help you peel back the layers and start dealing with all these social expectations, family expectations, that might not be aligning to your true inner role to play in your community, in your society. So this is what I wanted to share today. And I'm definitely not saying that people should not be sharing their beautiful personal journeys and sharing the tools that got them there. This is not what I'm saying. But when I was watching this particular piece of content, I could see how it would be easy for me to focus less on the tool and become caught up in what success looks like because of what I was seeing and because of what I was hearing. And therefore, it would have been extremely important for me to realize upfront that what these individuals are sharing is not so much about their content, but more the process that got them to this content. And I understand that what I'm saying is opening up a very big can of worms, because I think we all understand that in today's society, because of social media, because of the level of connectivity we have, because of the level of access to information we have, because of many things, there is a lot of comparison happening, which is adding to the social anxiety that a lot of us might be feeling, the pressure we might be feeling to live up to a certain standard. And I think that there's an awareness of this, but I'm not so sure if we are aware of it at the level that the content we might be engaging in, trying to solve this problem, might actually be perpetuating this problem. I'd love to hear your comments and opinions on this. I'm definitely not saying that what I'm saying is 100% accurate scientific. It's just an insight that came to me. And if this resonates with you, then great. I hope that you can get into some personal insights about it and apply this when you are. So apply this filter when you watching content, like this content actually. And if it doesn't resonate with you, I'd love to hear your comments on that. So thank you for joining me on another episode of Robin Radio. Stay joyful, stay happy, stay peaceful, stay kind towards yourself, and may that spread to everybody around you. Thank you.